Number 2 for the Omega Tropical IPA yeast, and this one is featuring all my favorite hops, and I forgot the name. I forgot to open my binder, so we'll find out in just a minute. It's up next. Comet Mosaic. Like I said, it's got my favorite hops in it. We're starting off with Comet for bittering, and then moving into Mosaic, Citra, and Dorado. I have a bunch of different hops, go-to hops for different styles. I don't think I've ever used these together before, but I did pick these one because they are some of my favorite hops to use, especially in hoppy beers. But moreover, they are said to produce fruit flavors and tropical fruit profiles, and hopefully along with this yeast, once again, that's what we'll actually get in this tropical IPA attempt. So let's get started. The ingredients in the grist, we got 2 pounds of 2-row, 4 ounces of honey malt, and 4 ounces of Munich malt. For the boil, we have 0.18 ounces of Comet at 60 minutes, 0.2 ounces of Mosaic at 10 minutes, 0.2 ounces of Citra at 5 minutes, and 0.5 of Dorado at 1 minute. 2 gallons and 10 cups of water, gonna bring up to about 168 degrees. I put the rest of that gallon in here in case I need a sparge, which I shouldn't. This should be just about dead on, or at least close enough. Now I'm gonna go mill the grains. All right, stirring it up, getting the mash started, and not easy with one hand. There we go. There we go. All right, I'm gonna mash this for probably about, I'll probably go for the hour. I could probably get away with 45 minutes, but I'll go for the hour to be sure, and then Vorloff and get everything into the kettle to boil. All right, let's see if these starches cooperated and converted. Oh yeah, looks pretty good. I think we're ready to Vorloff and boil. We're brewing under the cover of darkness. And the boil is going. And if you saw last episode, this setup looks familiar. In fact, it looks real familiar. We've got the same exact times on the boils, just different hops. And of course, the good old whirl flock in the midst of all that. 60-minute Comet. The whirl flock. 10-minute Mosaic. Some 5-minute Citra. And 1 minute Dorado. Alright, that was the worst one. 24 hours for fermentation on this one, and it did have a pretty heavy krausen. It's down a little bit now. It still has some more than the other, but it is also 4 hours younger. I don't know if that's making much of a difference, but can't get a real good shot in here. I don't want to move stuff around because this temperature control has been working fantastic, so I don't want to mess with it. But you can see, I think, from this blow-off tube, yeah, there's some. You can see the activity is still pretty heavy. It's still pumping some gas out of that tube. So far so good. Beer number 2 in this tropical IPA yeast test, and this is Comet Mosaic. That is a smush of all the hops I used, I believe. Let's see, Comet, Mosaic, Citra, Dorado. Of course, you all know this because you just saw the video from me. It's been about almost a month since I brewed this, but ready to try it now. Listen in for that hiss. There we go. All right, that's good. And again, gas rolling off the top. So carbonation, bottle conditioning has been pretty good so far. So let's see what we got. Carbonation pretty heavy again. I don't think as heavy as the last one, but that color, wow. Okay, last one I think I said was just on the tail end of gold. This is a rich gold. That's actually a color's a lot richer than I think I had in my head. But looking at the grain bill, makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's probably about right. That's not unusually dark. And clear, very clear again. Of course, these bottles have sat in the refrigerator in the cold, not moving for quite a while. So that should have done a really good job of settling anything that's in there. In fact, what does the sediment look like on the bottom? Actually, oh, I can see. You probably can't see it, especially at the brown glass, but I can see it. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to see. So yes, yes. Cold and nature and physics has done its job. All right, let's see what we have for aroma. Not as aroma heavy as I expected, having used Citra and Dorado at the very end. Did I have a dry hop in this? I must have, I'd imagine. I did. Oh, Citra and Dorado as well. So not as hop heavy as I expected. There is a little bit of hop, but I actually smell more of the alcohol, the beery type alcohol smell that you get with almost any beer first more than anything. And I mean, I do get there's a hop aroma to it, but it's not. I'm not gonna say it's a sweet hop or a fruity hop or a floral or anything. It's kind of a general hop aroma, nothing too spectacular, oddly enough, especially with those last two editions. Of course, we are coming up on spring and allergy season, and well, Central Florida is allergy season, but stronger in spring. That might have something to do with not picking up, but I don't think so, because they're strong. They should hit me. Okay, now that the head's dying down, I'm getting a little bit more of aroma. I'm getting kind of a little bit of sweet orange, not much, but still just kind of a hop. In fact, not vegetal, but kind of, I guess, on the earthy side. So a little earthy hop, little sweet orange at best. So, all right, let's see if we get something more in the taste. There's a lot more in the taste than there is in the aroma, and it's a little hard to pick out everything that's in there. So let me try it again. At best, there's like just a little bit of a touch of kind of more of an exotic fruit than a tropical fruit, kind of like a dragon fruit, stone fruit type realm, somewhere in there. Not getting the last one, not getting really any mango or papaya taste. Certainly in that pineapple that was pretty much in every aspect of the other one, that's not there. Not as bitter forward as the last beer, and that probably makes sense with the hop choice at 60 minutes. Again, not knowing that I would need that, but honestly, I'm not getting the tropical fruits in this that I don't know if I was expecting, maybe hoping's a better say, but it's, again, not a terrible beer, but I'll drink this and the other ones I have probably while brewing, but I don't really see, what I'm trying to say is that I can't quite find the words for, I'm not going to make this recipe again, and I'm also not going to tweak it, whereas beer number one, Tropical IPA number one, I know exactly the first thing I'm going to do, take out that bittering hop, maybe even increase some of the other ones. This one, I'm just not, it's not a failure, but it's definitely not getting to what I want. So this one, again, not a bad beer, just definitely not a tropical IPA. In fact, it's a pretty average IPA. In fact, I think if you were looking for just an IPA without any specific flavor profile, just strong hops, some kind of fresh hops from the dry hop, and behind it a fairly strong grist, a malt bill with this one has 2 row and a little bit of honey in Munich, the honey for the sweetness. I think this is more of a run-of-the-mill IPA than anything else, which is a shame to kind of use that particular strain of yeast on this and have that outcome. But that's what the point of this run of series is, to find out what it does. So this one, just not going to make it again, but I'll be, happy enough to drink what I have. So that's it. We'll call that an episode. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit the bell to catch the release of those, or get the announcements of the release of those other episodes that have to do with this yeast strain and all the other brewing we do on this channel. So until then, I'll see you in that next episode.